Vertical, fast, unrelenting. Three simple words could describe so few shooters nowadays. Hiding behind cover and relying on kill streaks has been the norm for a long time. Taking influence from games like Unreal and Tribes, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has added the speed and fun back to modern first-person shooters. This is the future, and from where we stand, it looks pretty bright.
Powering it up. Hands up! Who knows how to drive this thing?
Set in a universe where cybernetics rule the battlefield, the campaign of Call of Duty focuses on Mitchell, a former Marine who lost his arm during a North Korean invasion. Given a new arm and profession by the leader of the Atlas Corporation, Jonathan Irons, the game explores the ideas of PNC involvement in warfare and the dangers of chemical warfare.
An operation on foreign sovereign soil, it would be an act of war without congressional approval.
Atlas is an internationally registered private company. We don't need Congress.
Spacey's portrayal of Irons is brilliant, but the shining star of the campaign is the mission structure. Many levels, like a stealth infiltration op in the invasion of New Baghdad, allow the player to approach objectives in a variety of ways without shoehorning them into choosing options. These playground levels are a blast to play, and the scenery makes them even better. The futuristic world of Advanced Warfare is fun to get lost in, at least when you're not dodging a hailstorm of bullets. Sadly, single player does fall prey to common tropes of the series. There is the press X to progress, and most of the protagonists, like Mitchell and Gideon, lack any real depth or character development. The missions are a blast, but the story itself is only a tad bit better than standard fare.
Let's do this. Jump!
Multiplayer this time around is a much different beast. Exosuits, which give the player a variety of boost movement options and new exo abilities to add to their arsenal, make the combat fast and much more vertical than previous entries. Supply drops are also in the mix, bringing loot into the multiplayer metagame.
Elite! Elite!
You receive supply crates every so often, and they contain 3 items from a giant pool of loot. Anything from a new pair of shoes to a special laser with extra damage and a pre-attached scope could be in the crates, and it gives the multiplayer a sense of both progression and personalization. Being able to check out other players' loadouts and gawk over rare cosmetics and weapons while also showing off your own collection is a fun metagame to play between matches. The multiplayer matches to play in this game are definitely the faster modes. Uplink and Momentum benefit greatly from the increased options for fast players. Boost jumping, sliding, and diving through the bullets for an uplink score is ridiculously fun. While some slower modes like Search and Destroy don't see the same ramp up, players of those modes will likely forego boosts anyways for a more quiet and tactical approach. The maps are very well designed, ranging from temple ruins and frozen research facilities to a prison mid-riot. Each map feels much more balanced and even, and supports the vertical player movement by creating pseudo-routes throughout the map, rewarding the aware soldier and providing opportunities to outmaneuver opponents mid-firefight. Some maps are definitely more balanced for certain modes though, and you'll find yourself leaning towards certain maps for certain game types more often than not. Exo Survival, Advanced Warfare's co-op mode, has seen few changes from previous iterations. 4 players are tasked with holding out on one of the mini multiplayer maps. You can upgrade your stats, exosuit, and weapons while trying to survive each successive stage of attacking enemies. Like most wave-based modes, there are objectives to complete to stop the players from holding up in a corner, and there is a decent variety of enemy types. But Exo Survival doesn't have the same charm or terrain manipulation options seen in previous Call of Duty games. It's a fun distraction and worth a few runs, but fails to meet the heights of the multiplayer proper. Overall, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare succeeds in creating a game that the community can come together on. Embracing an arcade-style shooter formula inspired by games like Quake and Unreal, Advanced Warfare creates an engaging multiplayer experience and decent single-player experience. While the co-op won't turn any heads, and the single-player lacks any real depth in the plot or character department, the game is filled with well-designed maps and engaging progression. This is one game that fans of multiplayer FPS won't want to miss. We give Call of Duty Advanced Warfare an 85 out of 100.